If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with another episode of Under the Radar for you guys, talking about 3 more albums that came out during the week of June 23rd, and yeah, I'll have to say this was actually a pretty big weekend for black metal or blackened bands in general, as of course I talked about Shooter as a full-on review back on Saturday. And now we got actually a couple more to talk about, including another genre. But without further ado, let's get started, and we're kicking things off with Nocturnal Breed with Carry the Beast. So this is a Norwegian blackened thrash metal band, and yeah, this is just some like old school, raw, lo-fi blackened thrash, but dare I say there are some cool like triplet chugging sections on here, or just chugging sections in general, but I have to say there is a lot of classic heavy metal influence going on here, particularly Iron Maiden in the lead work and some of the galloping rhythms that you get on here. So yeah, it's like Iron Maiden meets Bathory meets a band like maybe modern era Darkthrone a little bit, kind of like a hodgepodge of those bands, and maybe throw in a little bit of like early Creator, and you get Nocturnal Breed, I would say. So yeah, very energetic, lots of chugs, some cool classic metal flair. Though my biggest gripe on here, well, the biggest gripes that I had, is that too many samples on here, as well as like the title track being a pointless 5-minute intro. I hated that. Then you had another track that was like over 5 minutes, that was just an interlude that didn't really lead to much. And then another interlude. It's like, chill on the interludes and the samples. And then even a couple of the songs I thought were a little bit too long for what they were going for. But it never got boring, which is good. It's energetic throughout. Production could have used a better mix, but I like the raw lo-fi sound. Just could have used a better mix overall. But yeah, if you are a fan of R Noir, Deathhammer, Bewitcher, and like late 2000s era Darkthrone, you might dig some stuff off of this. For me, I give it 7.5 out of 10. Some solid stuff, all things considered, despite the gripes that I had. It's filled with energy, filled with melody, and darkness overall. So there you have it. Now we move on to the second album, and that is Infinity with the Untamed Hunger. So this is a Dutch melodic black/death metal band, and yeah, basically lots of dissection going on in this album. Like, this album almost feels like Storm of the Light's Bane Part 2 almost. Like, there is a lot of that album influence on this. Like, the melodies are super prevalent, the cold melodic tremolo riffs, blast beats, but you do get some doom sections on here when they slow it down to the slowest they can possibly go. Lots of like classic Gothenburg melodic death metal influence going on here, as well as classic heavy metal influence kind of mashed together into this album. And I love how the leads on here are really epic. Like, the lead work on this album is absolutely top notch, because it gives off, again, more of that like classic heavy metal kind of vibe to these leads. And there are times when not only in the leads get epic, but sometimes in the songs they'll get really epic as well, but still sound evil and cold, but also a little bit brutal at times because of the mellow death or even occasional death metal section that goes on here. But yeah, I just love how they're able to make everything sound awesome, and it never slows down. Well, apart from the little doom sections, it's just foot on the gas, high octane energy within this melodic death/black metal context. So yeah, if you are a fan of dissection, dare I say necrophobic, Watain, and even At the Gates, I think you will love this one. I really enjoyed it. I give it a 9 out of 10. This was a really fucking good album right here. And I might need to check out some more from this band because I really, really enjoyed this. And now we get to the third and final album for Under the Radar this week, and that is Rise to the Sky with 2 Years of Grief. The latest offering from this one-man band, Chilean, atmospheric death doom project of Sergio, who's hell of a guy and a hell of a musician. And of course, I've talked about quite a few of their albums over the past couple of years. Granted, he's been doing like 2 albums a year with this project, and I always seem to only catch just one of the 2 every year. But I have checked out 2 of their last 4 that have come out since 2021. And yeah, pretty much it's more of that kind of vibe. It's somber, dark, and depressive atmospheric death doom. But dare I say, with this album, what I think separates this album from some of the other works that I've heard Sergio do with Rise to the Sky is there's more up-tempo moments on here where he gets into more blast beats and like almost black metal tremolo riffs, but you also get some cool traditional death metal sections on here too, but they're very few and far between. It's all about the atmosphere, it's all about the doom, the sorrow, and the overall beauty behind it. And of course, one of the main trademarks with Sergio and Rise to the Sky is the great use of strings, acoustic guitars, and piano to just make it sound even more depressing. And of course, this was the end of a concept series that Sergio was doing where it was all about grief. But dare I say, I think this might be the best Rise to the Sky album I have heard yet. If you are a fan of bands like Swallow the Sun, Saturnus, My Dying Bride, and even early Catatonia, you will love this. I absolutely loved it. This is a possible album of the year contender. 10 out of 10. Like I said, I think this is maybe the best Rise to the Sky album I've heard thus far. I need to actually get all of Sergio's discography. Hopefully he's still got a lot of spare copies on his Bandcamp whenever I can remember to go on Bandcamp and buy the catalog. But yeah, 10 out of 10. This is a beautiful album. But of course, these are all just my opinions. What did you guys think of these 3 albums? Of course, I'll have the album links in the description box. And until next time, keep your horns high and your dreams wet.